Good. Okay. I spent the last week watching every episode of To Catch a Predator online. It is the most fascinating show in the world. Did anybody watch it when it was on? It's so addictive. It's the most unintentionally hilarious show ever. Because every single one of the pedophiles is an idiot because they don't come up with contingency lies. Like every time they get caught and Chris Hansen looks at them and asks what their plan was, and most of them say that they're just there to, hang out and chat. Just wanted to talk. And they know they're full of shit. I mean, even if they didn't have the transcripts of all the sex talk, they'd know they're full of shit. Like you came to talk to a 13-year-old girl about what? What common ground is... Are you going to compare like your interest in Deep Purple to their interest in Justin Bieber? It makes no fucking sense. I'd like to see some of the transcripts of those chats, because it couldn't all be about sex. It had to have been a generation gap. Like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just sitting at home rocking out to Styx. Who? It's ridiculous. They're there to chat. They're like zoo lions that don't know how to hunt anymore. They can't lie. It's ridiculous. And why would you talk to a 13-year-old girl? They're the most annoying group of people on the entire fucking planet. They know nothing. They offer nothing. They're moody. I would sooner fuck a pair of 13-year-old shoes than talk to a pair of 13-year-old girls. They're annoying. But as I was watching all the episodes of the show, and there was this one guy, this 26-year-old from Bowling Green, Kentucky, and he had cerebral palsy. Did anyone see this guy? He had palsy, and he came out, and he was one of the filthiest motherfuckers I'd ever heard of. In the chat transcripts, he talked about how he wanted to have oral and anal sex with this 13-year-old girl. He wanted to shave her naughty bits and brought a razor with him to do it. He asked her to wear the same pair of panties for 2 or 3 days straight and then mail the panties to him. And then he asked if it was cool to have a three-way with her and her sister, which sounds gross to you, I'm sure, but it's probably par for the course in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Especially, God, this guy, when he stumbled out of the car walking with his cane, you could just see the inbreeding in his face. I mean, he looked like such an extraterrestrial. I nicknamed that episode To Catch an Alien versus Predator because he just looked so fucked up. And you could tell that it was he was the product of years of drunken Thanksgiving cousin fuckers. Some dorky looking redneck named Rusty who huffs 2 cans of spray paint and drinks a gallon of moonshine on the tailgate of his 74 Chevy pickup and then bends his first cousin Annabelle over a bale of hay while the chickens are roaming free and someone's working on a truck in the background, and then whips out all 3 inches of his weathered semi-erect cock and slams it into her faster than Brittany Murphy's career ended. Don't put that on me now. I'm going a lot further than that. I was going to use Dale Earnhardt for that joke, but I decided to take the high road. So anyway, this guy shows up, and he brought KY with him, and not like a reasonable amount like me or you, Marco, would probably bring. This guy brought enough to grease up an entire livestock farm, like a gallon of KY in case there was an emergency, and he had to lube up an entire zip code worth of massive horse cock. And he shows up, he goes in, he talks to the decoy for a couple of minutes, and then Chris Hansen comes in. And when Chris Hansen walks in, he leans forward, and his eyes get real wide, and he knew he was busted. He had that deer in headlights look. But he leaned forward so quick, I couldn't help but think, what's he gonna do, make a run for it? He's got palsy. That'd be the most awkward and pathetic police chase in the long, sad history of police chases. Shambling towards the front door at the speed that grass grows. I could have beaten him in a 100-yard dash even if I was chained at the ankle to Rosie O'Donnell's bloated corpse. It was ridiculous. The cops wouldn't even need to chase and tackle that guy like they do with some of them. They just, no, let him go. He'll wear himself out. We don't need to call in the SWAT team on this. Set up a perimeter and hope we snare him in our criminal dragnet. He's not going fucking anywhere. So he's sitting